Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So for today's video, just a quick one, we're going to talk about Pact. So before we talk about the priorities as well as which one I think is good for what, we're going to talk about the materials to upgrade. So the two materials to upgrade for the Phantimals in the early game, number one would be the Phantom Vestige and the other one would be the Phantom Catalyst. So Catalyst is the EXP materials to level up the levels, and the Vestige right here is the Ascension materials to upgrade the tiers. So the tiers will affect the skills in terms of like the level 10, 20, 30 upgrade. So right here, if you take a look at Tezio at base level 10 you get level 2 for this ward ability, and level 20 you get this ultimate level 2, so on and so forth. So this is where you need that Vestige for you to push through to the next tier for better ability. So that's for the two materials. So you get Catalyst from the AFK stage side. There is still a daily limit for the rewards for your EXP tomes for all the different materials. So you click onto here, there's a limit for all this stuff. But if you're able to push the AFK stages in excess, you will get all the invite letters, the weapons, as well as more importantly the Phantom Catalyst to give you the stats advantage on your Phantimal for your AFK stage push, as well as your Supreme Arena, which are the two main modes that you run the Phantimals. So right now for the Guild Supremacy side, I haven't had the opportunity to test multiple builds. But so far, I think the Wildest one is still the strongest because most people would have actually prioritized on Wildest first because of the Wildest dominance on your AFK stages. So the first priority will definitely be Wildest, 100%, because Wildest Snow Stomper is really good. Number one, because of the synergy that this artifact has with Starshot spell, and also the other ultimate Reliant artifact, Growth Trap right here. So based on the number of ultimate your Phantimal cast or your unit cast, because your Phantimal is a unit itself, right? This will trigger Starshot spell as well as Growth Trap much faster, giving you that additional procs, giving you that additional debuff to nuke down the opponent and then just win the battle. So Snow Stomper has a lot of synergy. Whether or not it's the strongest, I'll say it's debatable, but it is definitely the most versatile and useful for the AFK stage side. So you can use it with obviously your Iron Armors combo. Even if you're not using Iron Armors, Valeria is a commonly used unit, Tarsi is also a commonly used unit. Units like May is also very commonly used. So there are just a lot of ways for you to proc this Phantimal, and then there's a lot of combinations where you can put this Phantimal for the additional stats, for the additional ultimate, for the additional synergy, and the easy procs for the different team setups. So I think Wildest is without a doubt the highest priority. So the second priority, I'll say, is relatively subjective. The max level for your Phantimal on phase 1 is level 60, as you guys can see. So this will unlock the first 3 abilities with the Phantimal focus at level 1. So one question that you guys might have would be, hey Zip, is it okay if I distribute the levels of the Soul Pact? Like for example, we do a 10, 60, 10, 10, 10 for example. I do think that it is a feasible idea because Wildest will be the main one that you're running, be it for your AFK stages or even your PvP. And this additional levels makes your Phantimal stronger, gives your Phantimal more buffs for your whole team as well, pretty similar to Factional Talent. So you kind of want to focus on 1 to max level, which is 60 for phase 1. And then for the second one, I am focusing on the Lone Gaze side because the second team that I run the most for the AFK stages is the Mauler team. So I figured the additional buffs as well as the additional damage on Lone Gaze can offer me more push. But I think if you are more pay to win, if you have a much stronger account, looking at the units in general, with units like Saida, with units like Baron, with units like Fresto, Twins being really good for the stages itself, I think there are certain stages where you need more damage compared to control to push the stages, right? This is where I think Illusion could be really good as well. So for the second slot in terms of priority, it'll be between the Maulers as well as Illusion. I think personally Maulers will be more applicable because like I've seen just more replays with Maulers. Like there are some replays with the Illusion side, but it's like very stacked up accounts. So that's with regards to the priorities. So with regards to the other Phantimals, I think for the Mauler one, looking at the skill numbers itself, I think Mauler at level 40 is actually, I'll say, really good for your lone gaze to be a semi-carry. So after 40, I think you might want to put the stats into other Phantimals which you main for your account. So like I mentioned earlier, Snow Stomper will be the highest priority. And then the second one could be between Lone Gaze or maybe even your most used faction, depending on how your account is built. Now, for the Phantimal usage, I think at the base level, Grim Executioner is commonly seeing used because Graveborn is just really strong. You have Chimera, you have Daimon, you have Ludovic, you have Bonnie, you have Niru, which are just really good PvP characters. And Grim Executioner is, I'll say, tanky enough for you to pull off your Graveborn combos in general. So even at level 1, this is a pretty good PvP Phantimal. And then obviously, I've seen a lot of whales with a lot of Celestial Hypogean. So Illusia is also really good, even when like she's at a lower level. So I think she's good not because like her abilities are super stacked up or when she gives you a lot of stats, but rather because the Celestial Hypogean in general or the one that I'm facing, they're a lot stronger. So like, yeah, she's just gonna hit really hard because of that level advantage and stats advantage that Illusia can offer. And then for Tejo itself, I've tried to run Tejo with Belrun to give that massive heal that is able to provide. But I think at the lower level, Tejo's ability is not exactly the best. I think this unit will actually scale up to be a really good store Phantimal, because if we take a look at the last ability right here, he has 5% less damage up to 20% for each hero on the allied side. So if you do a full turtle strat that stays on your side of the battlefield, Tejo is going to be a pretty tanky healer unit that's able to equalize HP. So the buff that he's able to provide is actually going to be really scaly. And I look towards Tejo being a pretty good late game light bearer character or light bearer Phantimal that you can use. So that's with regards to this unit. So like that will be the priority and the general usage for all these different Phantimal. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again in my next Season 5 video. Bye guys!